Dear students, this is part 4 of our topic water microbiology. In the first part, we have discussed introduction, sources of microorganisms in water, fecal pollution of water, and indicators of fecal pollution. From the second part, I have started for the discussion on the bacteriological examination of water, and in that I have discussed the standard plate count method and different qualitative tests for the coliforms. The qualitative tests for coliforms include presumptive test, confirmed test, and completed test. The third part was on the tests that are used for the differentiation of fecal and non-fecal coliforms. In that we have discussed the Emigh test and Ejekman's test. In this part, we are going to discuss the quantitative tests for the coliforms. That is, the tests that are used for the quantitative estimation of coliforms in the water sample. So the quantitative tests for coliforms are performed to determine the number of coliform organisms in the water sample. There are two methods for the quantitative measurement. One is MPN method and another one is membrane filter technique or membrane filtration technique. So what is MPN method? MPN is nothing but most probable number of coliform organisms in the water sample. In this method, the multiple tubes of McConkey's broth or L'Oreal tryptose broth are inoculated with different volumes of water sample. In addition to these two media, sometimes one more medium, that is BGLB, brilliant green lactose bile broth medium, can also be used for the determination of MPN of the water sample. Usually 5 tubes of double strength medium of any of these medium are inoculated with the 10 ml of the water sample. 5 tubes of single strength are inoculated with 1 ml of the water sample, and again 5 tubes of single strength medium are inoculated with 0.1 ml of water sample. That means in a single set of experiment there are 15 tubes. First 5 tubes are of double strength medium and the remaining 10 tubes are of single strength medium. The first 5 tubes of double strength medium are inoculated with the 10 ml of the water sample, and from the remaining 10 tubes, 5 tubes are inoculated with the 1 ml of the water sample and 5 tubes are inoculated with the 0.1 ml of the water sample. After incubation, all tubes are incubated at 37 degrees centigrade and observed after 24 and 48 hours for acid and gas production. If the number of positive and negative tubes with each volume of water sample is known, it is possible to calculate the probable number of coliforms in a given volume of water sample. The combination of number of positive and negative tubes provides an index of the pollution. The result is expressed as most probable number, that is MPN of coliforms per 100 ml of the sample. To determine the MPN, the number of positive tubes are recorded and compared with the standard McCrady's table. This table directly gives the MPN value per 100 ml of the water sample. The potable water, that is the water that is used for drinking purpose, should not contain more than 2 coliforms per 100 ml of the water sample. So in this image you can see the experimental set. The water sample in 10 ml amount is inoculated in the 5 tubes of double strength medium. Similarly, 1 ml of water sample is inoculated in the 5 tubes of single strength medium, and 0.1 ml of sample is also inoculated in the 5 tubes of single strength medium. All the tubes are incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 24 to 48 hours. After incubation, the number of positive tubes in each of the row is recorded and it is compared with the standard McCrady's table. From the table, we can get idea about the number of coliforms per 100 ml of the water sample. These green tubes are of the BGLB medium that is used for the determination of MPN value. Instead of BGLB, that is brilliant green lactose bile broth, one can make the use of McConkey's broth or L'Oreal tryptose broth. This is the standard McCrady's table. It indicates MPN values per 100 ml of the water sample. This table is designed by considering the inoculation of 5 tubes of double strength medium with 10 ml of the water sample, 5 tubes of single strength medium with 1 ml of the water sample, and 5 tubes of single strength medium again with 0.1 ml of the water sample. On the basis of number of positive tubes in each of the row, the MPN value can be determined. The calculation in this table is based on the general formula of Hoskins. So this is the Hoskins formula. It is a statistical formula. As per this formula, MPN per 100 ml is equal to the number of positive tubes into 100 upon square root of total ml of sample in negative tubes into total ml of sample in all tubes. The next method for the determination of coliform count is membrane filter technique. This is a new method and initially it was named as molecular filter technique, but now it is named as membrane filter technique. This method is now designated as a standard method for the examination of drinking water. In this, a sterile membrane filter is placed in the holding apparatus, that means in the filtration assembly. Bacteria are collected by passing the water through this membrane with the help of a partial vacuum. After the completion of water flow, the membrane is removed aseptically and placed on an absorbent disc which is previously saturated with the culture medium and taken in a petri dish. The medium from the petri dish passes through the membrane and nourishes the bacteria. After incubation of such membrane, each organism grows and produces a visible colony on this membrane. The incubation time and temperature in this method depends on the organism that is to be grown and the medium that is used for its growth. Usually, the medium on which the coliforms produce dark colonies with metallic sheen at 37 degrees centigrade in 24 hours is used. And the most common example of such medium is EMB agar medium, and therefore it is most commonly used. So this is the image of membrane filtration assembly. This is the millipore filter or membrane filter. It is placed in this holding apparatus, and through this apparatus the water is allowed to pass. After filtration, this membrane filter it is removed and kept on the absorbent disc which is saturated with the culture medium. The medium nourishes the bacteria on the filter and that results in the development of colonies on the filter. There are certain advantages of membrane filter technique. Which are those? This is the most accurate and reliable method for the determination of coliform number in the drinking water sample. This technique can be used for the determination of small number of organisms from large quantities of the water. The spreading of colonies in this technique is minimum. The membrane can be transferred from one medium to another for the purpose of selection or for the differentiation of the organisms. By this technique, the results are obtained more rapidly than by the conventional MPN method. Also, this method gives the direct count of the coliforms. It also gives a permanent record in the form of the preserved filters. The important advantage of this technique is that it permits field filtration of the sample and the shipment of filters to the laboratory on a preservative medium. And the last advantage is this method is extremely useful in emergencies. Also, there are certain disadvantages of this technique. The important one is the turbid water heavily contaminated with algae or other material causes the clogging of the filter, and this prevents the testing of the sufficient sample. So what are the target values for coliform organisms in the water? The objective of 0 E. coli per 100 ml of water is the goal for all water supplies, and it should be the target even in the emergencies. However, it is difficult to achieve it in the immediate post-disaster period, and this highlights the need for appropriate disinfection. So this is the table which shows the different grades or classes of water on the basis of total coliform count per 100 ml or total E. coli count per 100 ml of the water sample. And these grades or classes are on the basis of International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO standards for fecal indicator bacteria in water. On this basis, there are 4 classes or 4 grades of the water. The water is said to be excellent if the total coliform count per 100 ml is 0 and total E. coli count per 100 ml also is 0. The water is said to be satisfactory if the total coliform count is in between 1 to 3 and total E. coli count is again 0. The water is said to be suspicious if the coliform count is in between 4 to 10 and E. coli count is 0. But the water is said to be unsatisfactory if the total coliform count per 100 ml is more than 10 and total E. coli count per 100 ml is either 0, 1 or more. So this is about the quantitative test for coliforms, that is MPN technique and membrane filtration technique. In the next video, that is in the last video of water microbiology, we will discuss the municipal water purification process and its significance. So keep on watching the videos. Thank you very much for your kind listening. Thank you.